She took his hand and she led him along that golden beach. Higher and higher and higher they climbed.
Never fight unless you're sure you can win.
They watched the waves tumble over the sand.
All right. Horse stands a rope.
She had all of the skin.
I get kicked out of La Quinta forever.
What do we do with? What do we do with poop?
Dude. What is freedom? Are we truly free?
What in the world?
In those Hollywood nights, in those Hollywood hills, she was looking so right in her diamonds and frills.
I love how I'm talking about this like I actually know anything about it. I feel like I'm
close.
pretty
All
right.
Let's see here.
Damn,
Just
bro.
a good. We're about to find out how right you are. Hey! What is it good for?
Absolutely.
Well, nothing. It's good for oil and mortgage rates and
Making us all scared.
making me feel scared.
Making Iran the cheapest place to go to vacation on.
Yeah, that's true.
Making me scared.
I just got my tickets
Hey,
to Tehran,
so close
baby.
to
let's go see their new glass castles.
You guys remember Julio Tehran from the
Julio
Braves? Do you
Tehran.
think he's pretty devastated by the news?
By
Huh?
I don't think any of the
His
bombs hit
namesake?
Tehran, dude. But
I've just
that's
you
just
know.
the only city I could name.
Yeah.
That was a pretty crazy thing to say.
Julio-
I apologize.
Hearing
For me?
No, what I said.
What did you say?
I said to go visit them in their new glass castles.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That was rude.
We didn't hit them with news.
Not,
And I say we.
I didn't
Zach
do
was-
any.
Zach
I didn't
was
do
flying
any.
one of the planes. Dude. He
I
was
didn't do
top
any
gunning.
of it. I didn't do any
dude,
of
listen to freaking Toby Keith.
I'll put a boot in your ass.
No, just something totally unrelated. Should have
just-
been a cowboy.
One of his slower songs.
Yeah, with the one about his wife. There's one where his wife is leaving him, and he's like, "That's my kids, and that's my wife."
Just weeping.
Every time
while
that song,
dropping bombs.
every time that song plays, he's like, "Who's that man?" And the line is like, "Running my life," but I go, "Fucking my wife."
Make it
I mean,
about
it's the same thing.
cucking, dude.
Yeah.
Toby Keith, but make
That's
it
what I was
cucking.
listening to, and I was just
Oh, man.
bombing the
Clear.
fucking nuclear sites.
Yeah, that's pretty wild stuff.
I'll tell you what, and I think we've been pretty consistent across the board here. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't care for war stuff.
I don't think it's cool at
Yeah.
all.
Somebody brought up, I didn't even realize this, but you notice how they never call anybody out specifically in Top Gun Maverick. And what they're doing is
Yeah, exactly. Top Gun Maverick.
they're doing Top Gun Maverick. And then the adversarial guys could be.
They're pretty white, but
Yeah, sure.
I think Iranians kind of
There's some white
They like to say
Iranis.
that they're white.
Yeah. So that's cool. Predictive programming or
Yeah,
programming,
I mean, it's,
conditioning.
It's definitely. I didn't think about that at all, and it does make me question my love of Top Gun Maverick, which I was already like loose about my love.
I mean,
Should I see it?
It's fun
It could help educate you on the current global crisis.
on
Yeah.
how dumb the people in positions of power think we all are.
Yeah, or maybe how dumb people in positions of power are.
Well, that's true.
You know that that
Interchangeable.
you know
Yeah, both. It's pretty.
an
And
actor can do it.
or at least the people in medium positions of power, the front-facing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
If there's some sort of shadowy hand, they're probably pretty clever.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and get this out because this is like the only thing that I think I'm mad about in terms of, I'm mad about the war, right? And I think, you know, there's a somewhere in here, I'm sure we said, you know, like, hey, well, you know, maybe if Trump gets in, we won't go to war,
Right.
you know? And there's a couple things I want to say. So number one, and we talked about this morning, this already happened. If you think back into your mind's eye and you think right before the pandemic happened, we bombed a bunch of airfields and we took out Soleimani.
Yep.
Yeah. And he was an Iranian, he was like
General.
their guy. He was
Yeah.
their general guy. And everybody was like, we're going to go to war. We're about to go to World War III. This is what's going to happen. And then it didn't happen. Now the pandemic did sort of cut the legs out of a massive world war. But I will say, in terms of like, we didn't go to war. We bombed Iran. It's up to Iran now.
Wars and rumors of wars, my friend.
Yeah.
Wars and rumors.
So it's
of
going to
war.
be whether or not everybody else wants to go to war or whatever. So, and I don't want that. We shouldn't have done this to begin with, but it's important to remember that, like, this is not, like, the craziest thing that's ever happened.
No.
And then the other thing is just, like, seeing people tweet the Kamala Harris quote, "If you elect Trump, we'll be at war in 60 days." It's like, motherfucker, when you got elected, we were at war in 60 days.
Right.
That's what happened. So it's like, I mean, just if you're going to be out there and be a retarded person, read a book or something. It's just like, this is crazy. Like, you just don't pay attention for 4 years, and then the guy that you don't like is president, and now you're like, oh, no, we can't go to war. It's like, well, where were you when we were fucking sending all kinds of money to the Ukraine for them to kill people with our weapons?
Or Syria.
Or Syria.
or Libya.
Or any of these things that Obama did. Yemen, exactly.
You have to consistently hate them all.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like,
I think
this is the only
you
path.
don't get
this is
to,
the
like,
through line here of this podcast.
pick and choose is kind of stupid. Like, everybody is a little retarded. Like, everyone, like, in that position kind of fucking sucks.
I don't think it's
For
that they
sure.
kind of suck. I think it's like a prerequisite.
I was trying to be
right?
nice about it. They suck ass.
Yeah.
Trying to understand
I think there's
empathy.
some validity to this argument that, like, Trump, there's damning things about Trump in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I've never believed it more.
I believed it pretty hard when Bill Barr was the attorney general that oversaw the whatchamacallit, the prosecution.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. That sounded like your garbage disposal farting.
Nice, dude.
That was pretty cool.
That was
But if
tight.
you guys know this is a funny thing, and I think it's Bill Barr. I think I'm right. I don't have my phone. We're recording with my phone, so I'm going to be shooting fast and loose with a lot of war facts. But I believe Barr's father was the first person who gave Jeffrey Epstein a job. Good God. And so it's like, oh, how funny is that, dude? And Barr is Trump's, guy. Right. And so, you start to put a lot of the pieces together. And either one, you've got this thing where Trump is outside of the purview of like the typical influence. So they just know that, like, okay, if we just surround him with people who tell him that it's a bad idea to release the Epstein list, he just won't do it because that's the way he operates.
Sure.
Or he's actively being like, no.
Yeah.
And if you're out there and that fires you up because he was on the plane, it should have fired you up. I mean, we almost elected the wife of a man who flew on that plane like 40 times.
A bunch of times.
So it's just like the whole thing is bullshit. So this idea that like one side is better than the other or like blah, 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 blah. No, one side is dangling a carrot for a certain kind of people and the other side is dangling a carrot for another kind of people. And this is how they fuck us. This is how they divide us and,
Both of the
split us
carrots
apart.
are poison carrots.
Yeah, and both of the carrots are poison. And
One of them just
they're poop.
One of them just has sparkles on it, and the other one has red,
Exactly.
white, and blue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of them has sparkles and the other one's wearing an NRA hat. But it's poop.
They're doo-doo carrots painted to look like carrots.
Nonetheless, you're about to eat a shit carrot.
Exactly.
Dude, yeah. Watching the presser, watching the Trumpsky presser after the thing happened.
I hear
my
you.
God, dude. First of all, anytime he has to say Muslim names and slow way down.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's like, he brings up Soleimani and whatever. Okay.
I was just going to turn that fan on, but I'm listening.
No problem. But he says like a few names and he just slows way down. But there's just something about him in the last few months where like whenever he does something and has to talk about something and whatever, there's just times where you're like, he believes this, and then there are times where it's like it looks like he's reading a script.
Yeah, right.
And like when he's off script and he's all like doing his weird YMCA dance and firing from the hip, it's so much different than when it's like a canned. And it's so weird how much he's like playing with Bibi Netanyahu's balls in the speech. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you the craziest thing is that obviously our the guy that led Operation Midnight Hammer, which is objectively a badass name for a thing.
Is that what they called the strike?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're 2 for 2 on great names.
These
for
are
these
fun
strikes.
names. They're like
What was it?
Operation Midnight Hammer, which feels like it's the nickname of that guy that you always get sent pictures of who's hanging dick over the bed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that's exactly what it is.
R.I.P.
You got Midnight Hammer. Dude.
But so he,
Oh fuck, that is
So,
awesome.
what
But
is-
also gay.
That sucks.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
That sucks that it's so cool.
it sucks that it's a dope name.
What was the first one?
What was the first one you were talking about?
The one in 26, they're not 2016. The one in 2020 was called, I don't have my phone, but it had a cool name too. It was like Operation Blow the Fuck Up Out of our bad guys. You know, it's like Operation Midnight Thunderhawk. You know.
Operation Midnight Less Bad Guys or whatever.
They're definitely
Operation Less Bad Guys
Yeah.
is hilarious.
they're going to that. You know, like rap names. How you make your rap name.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like generator.
Yeah. There's like a context for that. It's like if it's September, you use lightning. If it's an
like that-
even number, you use.
Your porn star name,
Yeah.
where essentially you're answering all your safe questions.
Yeah.
We should.
What's your first pet name?
We should draw up a one of those and put it on the Instagram where it's like if you were a nighttime agitation mission, war mission, what would your name be?
What would your war mission name be? Oh my! If you were gonna take out a nuclear facility in Iran,
Right.
what would your mission
What would your
name
mission
be?
name? But the craziest part of the whole thing, so he's giving one. It's always weird to hear Trump give credit to anybody else.
Especially Bibi Netanyahu.
Well-
What did I call him earlier?
Hebe BB.
No, that was
Juice
me.
Ferratu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Juice Ferratu is crazy. Nose Ferratu, except for with nose is spelled N-O-S-E.
Yeah.
No, sorry. So
And I don't. That's just this guy.
that's just this guy.
I don't have any
Obviously,
problem with the regular, ethnically Jewish
the
people
more we
who are
caveat
being
it,
regular.
I think the weirder it seems.
I just not weird at all. I have a problem with the state of Israel and the folks who run that. Bibi Netanyahu is an atheist. He's
Yeah.
not even religiously Jewish.
That's right.
Like why? Like I feel like energy, like the energy that Israel has is this like retarded little brother, like
Well-
just like getting into shit, and
You
then it's
did
just
say
like,
that.
oh no, help me.
Nope. I think what it might be is
Yeah, we're the retarded little brother.
We're the like
But aren't we sticking up for them?
we're
Yeah, exactly. We're the retarded
That's what I'm saying.
little
It's-
big brother.
We're Lenny.
Yeah, we are. I mean,
Yeah, we're Lenny.
We're Lenny, and
We're Lenny.
they're
that's exactly what I just
George.
said.
No,
Yeah,
no. You said that they were our retarded little brother.
I
That
think they're the mind.
I mean-
we're their retarded brother instrument. America is.
Everyone's retarded.
We're the blunt instrument of a very thought out plan. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way.
It's like Pinky in the Brain.
This is my
I
favorite.
feel used.
Did you guys watch the Ted Cruz thing with
Oh, yeah.
Tucker Carlson?
I saw a lot of clips of
I
it.
watched the whole thing.
Man, Ted Cruz.
Suck a dick, Ted Cruz.
What
An
a fucking
idiot, dude.
It's
guy
you know
sucks.
it's bad when like I have like some very very liberal friends that
I
are
had
like
people texting me like Tucker rules? Question mark.
yeah I got hit with
like, yes.
how dare Ted Cruz make me like Tucker Carlson. I
Yeah.
was just like I'm just a
I'll
bystander.
tell you what, the last month or so, there's been some wild stuff. Like there was, what's the guy? He's like one of the only guys left that's a comedian who hosts a show, and I don't even remember what it's on, but it's on cable, and I don't know this dude's name, but he's split screening himself at his like desk, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is underneath laying out her thoughts on.
Oh yeah, I saw this
on the,
video.
we don't want to go to war. This is not what people voted for. This is whatever. And this guy's like, am I agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene? And it's like, yeah, she's a crazy person, but she doesn't want to go to war.
Yeah.
The like whole thing in her thing is like, can't for 10 minutes Americans just have fun? I was like, yeah, this crazy lady rules sometimes.
Well, that's I like.
Wow.
I sent a. I mean, I don't know a lot, and I don't think that. I think while Tucker Carlson was on Fox News, he was a problem. He was not a good person. He was somebody who's doing, I think, primarily the bidding of Rupert Murdoch.
I
and
feel that way
whatever.
about most people who wear a bow tie.
Yeah. And I don't think he really had a ton of allegiance. This is a guy who basically grew up in D.C. But I think something happened when he got fired. And either he got co-opted by a cool part of the CIA that doesn't want us to go to war, or, you break free of the shackles of, like,
right,
the corporate bias, and then you start to, like, look into some things, and you go, wow, maybe that doesn't make as much sense as I thought it did in my little black and white world in D.C.
Sure.
So, I mean, I think he might be one of the good guys. There's just like 72% chance.
Yeah, and there's a couple other possibilities. One of them is audience capture. One of them is that there are people who try to follow the wind, whichever way the wind's going, and there are people who feel it before it turns.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not saying that that's where I sit on Tuck, but
sure, I think he's been fairly consistent.
Saying you have to look at all possibilities, I guess. I want to remain sort of. I don't want to be in anybody's club.
It's wartime, TJ. Now is not the time for unbiased opinions.
That's true. Nuance is out.
We
Dude.
must safe haven ourselves from whatever's about to happen.
Tucker Carlson, I know you're watching. Can we come to your house in Maine
and just lay low
and
for
eat
a while?
Fish with you and your family?
Yeah, I want some.
Speaking of the devil, have you guys seen that cool ass video of Tuck in Central Park fly fishing? Mm-hmm. The guy just like comes up on him. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
He's just like out on a rainy day fly fishing in New York City, and this New Yorker runs up on him. He's like, "Hey, yo, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm fishing." And he's like, "Oh, hey, you're that guy, Tucker Carlson or whatever." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "What you just fish in Central Park?" He's like, "Yeah, you can do that." And he's like, "I'll show you how you can get signed up for it." And the guy's like, "Oh, it's okay." Then he's just like, Tucker's just like super nice. He's like showing him his like fly reels and like how he makes his own flies and stuff. And the guy's just like, "Okay, man. Well, hey, this is great to meet you."
It's so
disarmed
funny.
immediately.
That's the truth,
so
right?
funny.
Like, and that's when people do stuff like that. That to me is a good indicator, right?
Yeah.
That you're someone who would rather diffuse like a weird situation. Somebody who would rather be kind when somebody's not. I don't know. Like there are all these little things, and he may be a huge dick, but
who knows?
it seems like he's at least pointed in the right direction. I think the shit in Russia is crazy too. If you don't know sort of what's going on with what's happened in Russia in the past 30 years, it would blow your mind, I imagine, for a lot of people to take a look at the way we've treated Russia.
Right.
And then it would make so much sense as to why now they treat us this way.
Yeah, why they feel like adversaries.
Yeah. So it's just those kinds of things. Like people, even I had a buddy of mine who was hitting me with the same Tuck. Oh my gosh, is Tucker rule? Yada yada yada. Jimmy, shout out, Big Jim, Jimbo,
Sorry.
and Jim hit the Reddit machine, and all the retards on Reddit were like, "Nah, this is because he's pro Russia." I was like, "Yeah, because he doesn't want them to bomb Iran because he's pro Russia." Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, dude, that makes a lot of sense. I told Jimmy, I was like, going to Reddit for your answers is like just opening up your window and screaming outside.
Can anybody help me with this?
It's a totally useless way to solve a problem.
Yeah.
I think you're partially right. There's some specific things that I will go to
For
Reddit
sure.
for.
Sure, if it's like a task or like you need help with a
project
wreck or a thing,
Yeah.
you're looking for somebody else's
My
opinion.
amp's not
Yeah,
working.
does
Why is it not working?
Yeah. Does anybody have any
Politics?
experience with this? Yeah. See,
No.
politics got co-opted on just about every site that
there's
used
really
to
no
be kind of
place.
fun.
There's no safe place.
Nah. No, as soon as something feels like it's got any sort of foothold, the bots and the ops come in hot and heavy.
The bots and the ops, baby.
Oh, what was I saying? The wildest part of the press conference.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, it was so what do you call him? The director of the Joint
President.
Chiefs of Staff. Yeah. Dan Kane.
DC.
In the middle of giving him credit, he's like he hits him with his nickname, General Dan Raising Kane. And I was like, dude,
Jesus
what a
Christ.
crazy time to bring that up. Like, how crazy would it have been if he was like, the General Dan Raising Kane hit a run with a Caniac combo. And fucking,
Our good friend Dan, kill all of our enemies, Kane.
Dude, he sounds like a A baseball player or something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like a baseball player nickname.
Dan Kane, Raising Cane is
Raising
crazy,
Cane is
dude.
pretty sick.
That is tight.
But
But look, go out into the world fearful from here on out.
No.
Fear and anxiety are the two weapons that God has given you to deal with this tragedy.
I think I was just I ran across a short somewhere, probably on YouTube, of a guy
YouTube.
talking about. And I recognize the guy, but I can't remember his name. But he's been on plenty of podcasts. Doesn't matter.
Is he good? Is he good?
I think he's good. I didn't have a visceral yuck reaction. But what he was talking about, he's like, if you go across all of the religious texts, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, a lot of Buddhist texts, all of them, and you were to like database what's the most common phrase, it is something to the effect of "fear not." Yeah. So, and I think part of that is
That's
because
beautiful.
if we blow up in nuclear, it's probably like the best way. Probably like the best way to go.
I don't want to freak everybody out, but I am following an anonymous. You know the guys, those gay guys who wear the
V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta
Guy
masks.
Fawkes.
God, there's nothing dumber than that,
Guy
dude.
Fawkes.
Stop doing that. If I would be all in if you guys stopped
With the Guy Fawkes.
pretending to be a superhero. Fun.
I personally think it's fun.
It's not. It's super gay. Just be
Look,
regular.
I have so much respect for you
Or
guys. I think
be
the mask is
scarier.
cool. I think you are plenty
Pick a different
scary.
mask.
No, don't be scary. Why would you want him to be scary?
What are you doing?
Be scary. Dress up like the Strangers.
What if
like
they
the
did
guys from the Strangers with like the burlap masks.
Burlap masks with
That would be-
faces on them.
I would be terrible. I would be watching. I see that guy Fox
Fox, yeah.
mask, and I think this is the guy who has a pencil thin mustache and acne.
He's a revolutionary.
He's not a good looking guy. So anyway, they're
Are you saying
saying
this man has soft hands?
He could be a soft-handed
you can't
gentleman.
see his hands, you can't see his face. And I did think that in this video, his mask was like bruised and bloody on one side. I was like, come on, dude. What are you doing? Like, what are you?
What if they did the Scream mask? Would that be a compromise between strangers?
I just don't think we should have this sort of pop culture reference. Create your own mask.
You're more of a revolutionary purist.
Yeah, create your own mask.
That's fair.
Anyway, they're saying on July 1st or 2nd or something, the 30th of June, somewhere in that time frame. I didn't give it too much attention because I see a lot of things like this that it's going down. It's going down for real.
What is?
I have
what's going down?
seen. Yeah, they didn't really say. They just said, "Be on the lookout. It's going down for real," and that was it. And then I've
That's not what they did.
I've seen a couple of videos suggesting that potential sites to be attacked in the. I don't know if you can say this on a podcast, but potential places allegedly that might get roughed up in a potential home conflict. They had Atlanta.
Sure.
As like one of the primary targets, which does make sense.
The
Biggest
CDC.
airport, the CDC,
You know what sucks is
World of Coke.
I'm flying to New York on the 2nd. And there's
I wouldn't be doing that if I were you, dude.
I might call my homie and be like, yeah, maybe we don't go, but we'll see.
Where were you in?
Dude, I'll go in your stead.
In my stead?
Yeah,
Put
dude.
together a bunch of leasing office furniture.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
I'll risk my life.
I guess what they're saying is, that there may be some false flaggy, sort
You
of.
have to really ask
Shit.
yourself the question: what happened on 9/11? I think because
Everybody go watch Loose Change.
if there is another, and again, I pray to God that there's not. I mean, it does make me scared to think, like in a non-joking way, that this is like a problem. That this is gonna be. I have 2 kids. I'm allowed to think that. But if there's another attack here domestically, I mean, we're just a part of a thing. We're getting bent up. We got to rise up. This is it. We can't be doing stuff like this. You can't just let them 9/11 us again. You can't just like it's only been like 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Coming up on 24.
They just bombed the new World Trade Center.
That would suck, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So don't let them do that. If you see a guy who looks like he might know something, rough him up.
No.
Get that intel. We need it.
Follow your intuition, dude. Wherever it may lead.
Anyway, war is gay, dude. I got fished at work this morning, dude. That's the real story.
You got fished? PH?
Yeah.
No way. You got tricked?
I got my password stolen.
I thought you meant like
Catfish?
the band Fish
Oh,
showed
you
up
just
to
thought-
you.
I thought you were like, just listen to Fish.
Or somebody else made you listen to Fish.
Got in this morning and somebody forced me to listen to Fish. I was like, God, this is so terrible. Yeah, it's a little groovy, but I don't want to listen to it.
Does this song have a chorus? No.
No. How can the whole song be a guitar solo? Where are the other instruments?
Wait, so how'd your password get stolen?
So I was waiting on the document.
This is major news.
I know. I was waiting on a document. Needed that document in ASAP this morning.
A super secret, super fun document?
Just for work. And
Just regular.
Just regular stuff for work. And I had sent an email to the people I needed it from, and I was like, yo, when you sign this, make sure you sign it in like DocuSign, so that I get a receipt that you signed it.
Yes.
So then like 30 minutes later, I got an email from DocuSign, or what looked like an email from DocuSign. It was like, hey, log in. Peep on your document is ready. I said, praise God. And then I logged in and then was like, this is not a document. I don't have to log in to go into DocuSign. What am I doing? None of that makes any sense, what I just did. And then I peeled back over to my account, and within seconds, it's like, somebody tried to log in Taiwan. Somebody tried to log in Great Britain. Somebody tried to log in Iowa. Somebody tried to log in. And I was just like, ah! Had like a full-blown panic attack. I had to quickly reset my password, did all this stuff. Called my boy, shout out Adam Bieber. Woo-woo. He's the IT guy. His company runs our IT. Called him, told him what happened. He was like, did you do this? I was like, yeah, I did all that stuff. He was like, yeah,
why don't you name some of the stuff you did?
pretty much all you can do. Reset your password. Just a little heads up, guys, if you're having any trouble. Reset your password. Set two-factor authentication.
Yes.
Sign out of all your,
Poop and
activity, and delete all the pornography off your computer. Those are the things you need to remember to do if you get hacked.
It's good.
But I think I got it back. Changed my password, did the thing,
You love to
kept
see
it pushing.
You love to see it.
And then I had a slight carryover panic attack about these two weird bruises on my elbows. But
What do you think that could be?
I think I've resolved that. I fell playing golf the other day pretty hard. Fell down a hill.
And that wasn't your first,
Hill?
idea?
No, it was immediately what I thought, Cole. But
But then he went around, then he came back eventually.
That's right. I had to think about all the other things it could be, like AIDS.
So you've been celebrating Pride Month pretty hard, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know, dude. You might could get AIDS just from being around somebody, dude. You just gotta be safe.
Maybe falling down a hill at a golf course.
Yeah.
That would
Putting
be-
old golf balls in my mouth while I'm on the golf course.
Don't do that. Hey, just a PSA in case you were like, oh man, there's no ball washer around. You know what I should do is wash these balls the old-fashioned way.
With my mouth.
Almost every golf course is covered in so much fucking chemicals.
Yeah, don't do that. You'll get a bad headache.
Don't put teas in your mouth. As cool as you think that looks. Don't put anything in your mouth. Don't take the grass off the tee box and put it in your ass. You will get a tumor.
You'll get a bad headache.
You'll get bruises on your
and weird inside
crazy ass
bruises.
tapeworm. Have you ever been afraid that you had a tapeworm?
My algorithm for the last 6 months has basically been that everybody has parasites, and here's what you need to do to cleanse them.
You need to eat a papaya.
Papaya is a good, I think, but
I was on that
black
shit for a little
walnut
bit.
oil and shit
And I
like that.
ignored it. I think I'm all right.
Do you guys know about Dura seeds?
Dura seeds?
Am I saying that right?
Maybe.
These seeds everybody's doing, they're popping off right now. I think it's like this little Dura plant. It's like a little ball that is like a little spiky ball.
Oh, sure.
Peel it open and it's got all these little seeds in it.
Oh, is it the
are you talking
durian
about
fruit?
Durian. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take the seeds and I guess you get fucked up.
Oh, really?
I guess. I don't know. I was watching a video about it. Could be propaganda, but I was looking at it and one guy was like telling the story about how a guy misinterpreted how many you were supposed to take and was like one pod, which has like 5,000 seeds in it.
Sure.
You're supposed to take like 2 or 3.
2 or 3 seeds or 2 or 3 pods.
And the whole video I watched implied that this guy died.
Oh no.
Yeah, they are toxic and full of
Arsenic.
carcinogens.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
When
So-
raw, but you can eat them if you boil them.
Oh, you gotta boil them first. Or, I mean, I guess there's some sort of hallucinogenic.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that what you're
Component.
saying? Is like
Well, that's probably
there
like a mild
psychoactive?
case of food poisoning, just the same way that when you trip on mushrooms. It's not like, I mean, yeah, some shit's going on in your brain, but you're also suffering from food poisoning.
You're also pooping violently.
What?
He's saying, like, yeah, maybe you're hallucinating a little bit, but it's mainly just because you're throwing up and pooping.
No, I don't think so. But okay, but yeah.
You never been so sick you were hallucinating? You're like, fuck, I'm fucked
a
up.
little bit, but it felt different than psilocybin inside my brain.
Well, I don't know how it feels. Look, this guy died. Show some respect.
You're right. You.
Dude, that's 3 U's back to back to back.
This is a time of immense sadness and
Dude,
violence.
it is a time of sorrow.
Somber stuff.
We
Wait.
need to repent from our decadence so we don't
true.
have to you no longer.
That's right, dude.
Turn away. Pray the rosary, America.
That's right. Maybe if we would stop Sodom and Gomoraing so hard, we could stop all this wrath. But
We're never going to stop. Dude, this is this is just one, what did you call it? What was that? Midnight Warhammer?
Operation Midnight Hammer.
This is just one long Operation Midnight Hammer until we're all dead.
You bring Operation Midnight Hammer and then Operation Midnight Climax together, dude.
That's love, baby.
That's a festival. Yeah,
Tim
dude.
McGraw's there.
I think there's really only one thing to do, which is gather in a montage the best of the best, and then we force a huge dose of MDMA on every
On all the
world
people.
leader. Maybe an MDMA psilocybin cocktail.
Yeah. I agree with this. I was thinking of other drugs, like maybe perchance like a little like ketamine therapy, but that's more for the sad.
That's true, and
Than
that
than
takes
the
quite
crazy.
a process.
How has nobody thought of this? This can't be that hard.
No, this has definitely been said.
Yeah, people have said it.
I
but
don't want to say this out loud because I think this could be interpreted as bad, but you put the pieces together.
What's up?
I was just saying, like, I mean,
It's a really small puzzle.
I'm not gonna say it because it's
What
not
was
like.
what was the Sam Hyde clip you sent?
Yeah.
Where he's talking about Dave Portnoy, and he's like, yeah, I think he's a piece of shit. And they were like, yeah, we saw you tweeted he's a piece of shit. He's like, yeah, I mean, he makes money off of other people addiction to gambling. He's like, he's a sports books guy. And look, no judgment. It's not a moral thing. I'm not morally against gambling. He's like, I'm not saying that somebody should kill him or that we should lock him up. But I am saying he's a piece of shit. And then they just keep cycling, and he says all of that same stuff like 3 more times. It's so funny.
I'm just, if you're a waiter or a waitress out there,
Do better.
Oh, sure, yeah.
and you get the opportunity, you could totally change the trajectory of a politician with a couple of mushrooms.
A couple of mushrooms on a pizza pie.
You know what
dude.
I'm saying?
Yeah, one of those. If you get a midnight,
Ted Cruz just wakes up.
if you get an order from the White House at midnight to make 1,000 pizzas,
Yeah.
put a bunch of mushrooms on all.
Don't do anything that would hurt anyone
No, of
or
course.
make anybody sick or
Yeah.
whatever. But this
No, I mean, you
could
dosing
be an
people.
opportunity to shed some light on some things I think that a
Yeah.
bunch of old men are having a hard time dealing with.
That's
I
true.
I wish it would work like that. I don't think getting surprise dose is really going to make you conquer your inner demons. I think being surprise dose would probably
Probably
send
freak
you
everybody
further into
out.
depravity.
Probably.
It could. It could. You can fork in the road the wrong way, and then somebody's
But-
just trying to mash the button. They're like, "Come on!"
That could be I rescind my previous statement. Actually,
Yeah.
Cole brings up a very good point. I think if you're 70, you're probably too far gone.
Could
We're
be too far.
talking
No,
about.
I think you should know about it.
So what?
I think you should know.
Well, I think
that
if
you're-
you get surprised when you're 70, you're not going like, oh, I should be better. You're going the total op. You're just going to lose it. You're going to be faced with all the horrible things that you've done over the past 70 years, and it's just going to break your mind.
either that or you just like go further into narcissism and you're like, oh my god, I can control the energy in the room. I'm God. No one can stop me. You know what? Get the codes.
Mash
We're sending
it.
them.
Get the codes.
You
Yeah.
know what? And I'm gonna hit the big red button with my D,
What if? Hear me out.
which does sound kind of fun.
We lean Congress.
We lean.
Give them all lean.
We hook them up with some lean.
Dude, I like
Dude,
this idea.
If Congress and the Senate were sipping on scissor,
If we
Dude,
got
all I see-
Congress sipping on scissor.
I'm just like
I just see them all on
Sleepy
C-SPAN,
ass Congress.
just fucking leaning to the side.
the sleepiest Congress, and they're just like, yeah, war, no.
War is no good.
You know how much paperwork I gotta fucking fill out? Fuck no, dude.
They all have sunglasses on.
It's bright as fuck
But
in here,
like
dude.
player hater sunglasses from 2017.
Elizabeth Warren has a chain on, and she's feel like, nah, war's gay, man.
That ain't chill shit.
Damn, dude.
Shit, dude, I'm trying to take it easy. I ain't trying to go to war.
It's unfortunate because I really could picture Donald Trump wearing a big chain, but it's much harder to picture
man.
other politicians wearing like a iced out chain.
Well, it is tough until we start naming some, and then people are like, yo, dude, relax. You guys only pick black politicians.
Well,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
Cory Booker could wear a chain, or
Could you imagine?
Tim Scott could wear a
Tim
chain. or
What's
Raphael Warnock could wear a chain. Yeah, I mean, we could keep doing this.
Yeah, you could keep doing it.
I know black politicians. I know
Clarence
politicians. Dude.
Thomas could wear?
Yikes.
No, that would be crazy.
That would be so cool.
I like it.
It's a thing that is like the big circle with a cross out that says abortion. It's like, no.
Dude.
That might be the next logical move, like what Kanye did, where he iced out the SWA. It's just like whatever your thing is from now on, you ice it out.
You have to rep it.
You got to rep it on your set 24/7. I'm pro gun. I got a fucking.
Yeah.
I have a
What?
school.
What if we started anytime? Nice. What if we started a culture where politicians take all of the worst parts of NASCAR, which is just wearing whatever their sponsors are all over their jacket.
Make politicians NASCAR.
Yeah. And then, but also there's a big pregame walk-up bullshit like in the NBA.
Bum, 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 bum.
To picture like Marco Rubio dressed in some ridiculous Russell Westbrook outfit while he walks up to whatever thing they're doing.
To Congress.
It's so funny.
What if we, instead of like people in Congress wearing suits, we just like, they have jerseys now.
That would be. But again, those jerseys need to have like Black
Yeah.
Rock
Who's
patches.
your
Yeah.
Northrop Grumman patches on
I
them.
mean, honestly, the answer is how about we just stop letting them do that? Stop letting them take money. Like even in that the Ted Cruz Tucker Carlson thing, he makes the statement. Oh, I received money from individuals at AIPAC, which is like, yeah, that's how they disperse money. And not make it look like one large donation.
Yeah, hey Ted, what was it for? Were you low on gas?
Yeah, were they just
Were
hooking
you
you
kind
up?
of broke?
Did you guys know that Ted Cruz has like a severely deformed penis?
No.
I'm making it up, but he really puts off that vibe.
I like this rumor.
I like it's a vicious internet rumor.
I like it.
I saw a video of Ted Cruz in like 2012 talking with. He's like, he got his mom next to him, and he's like, I just wouldn't be anywhere without my mama, and she's just like, yeah. She's like, she's prayed for me, and she's like, yeah. Sometimes she would pray 6, 7, 8 hours a day for me, and then it cuts back to her, and she goes. Makes like this
Just like,
crazy
yo,
face, like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about, dude?
No, I just prayed for you before I fucking ate my grits. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
like once in the morning, once at night. Normal stuff. Dude.
Yeah, remember when he left? He
Like,
left Texas when it snowed?
Ted Cancun Cruz is one of the best nicknames out there.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just...
Ted fucked up Dick Cruz.
yeah, exactly. With his weird fucked up dick, dude.
Ted Three Balls Cruz.
Yeah, dude. That's what they call him. man.
Old Teddy
He
Three
looks
Balls.
like a fucking grapes down there, dude. He's
Yeah.
got like 15 balls. Dude.
It's like an enlarged clit with a hole.
I think this is gonna be this is gonna be my new favorite thing to do. This is the most catharsis
Roast
there is.
Ted Cruz.
No, just like just make shit up about all these
Oh, yeah.
dickheads.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's probably true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
It's all true. And I
Like
sent
no regular dick human being is gonna be
Right.
acting like
for
that.
sure. And I sent an article to Jimmy this morning. I may have sent it to you on Instagram. I can't.
We need to
remember.
write an article.
Yeah, we should.
Dude,
write
we
an
should
article.
just write
Hey, check
fake
us out on
articles.
Substack. If you guys want to find out about Ted Cruz's weird small dick,
Well,
you
remember
can-
when what's his name? and fuck, what is that guy's? He's kind of weird now, but James
Lindsay.
Yeah, James Lindsay.
Yeah.
When they wrote those fake articles that were so funny.
Yeah.
Let's get back to some of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Always about just ridiculous, bordering on too ridiculous to even be believable, but also sort of believable.
See if we can get past journalists as sources.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm a good source for this.
I'll write one of these today. I'm so fired up.
But
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I said this earlier, but I sent the article to you, or screenshotted that article of Tim Walz. Did I send that to you?
Maybe.
But it was just along the same vein of like, oh, the Democrats would have avoided this calamity. I like went and found articles from before the election of, glowing reviews from the Jewish Council of America and, all these pro-Zionist groups about Tim Walz and the selection of Tim Walz as the vice president. It's like, this is what was going to happen, folks.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
They've got videos of our people fucking kids.
Yeah.
And
for
all
sure.
of them.
Almost for sure.
Yeah, y'all's people, not mine. Fuck no.
I ain't associated
America.
with y'all,
This
dude.
is America. The collective hour of the American people.
The American we.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Quit
It's
it.
unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
Quit. Fucking cut it out.
Brave take, not cool.
And this is going to be a harder take, but I've thought about this a lot. If you did it, just come clean. Just come clean. Beat them.
Cast
to
yourself
the honesty
on the altar of forgiveness.
And then it's all over. And then everything is over. All it takes is for one person to have a backbone and be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have fucked those kids.
I didn't know. Whatever.
Stick
to whatever line you got to.
And then just, we're going to get killed.
Dude, this has been...
No, that's why we don't
This
have...
is all jokes.
We are unveiling the truth
That's
here.
why we don't have high
One
production
joke
value.
at a time.
Nobody could ever take a podcast with this little production value serious. Just George back here looking over us.
This is not real. I mean, look.
That's it.
This is a green screen. Like, what do you want?
We're AI.
We're not even real.
We're not
God damn, see? We're fucking computers.
synced up, dude.
God.
What's another fun room?
Honestly,
Another fun rumor?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we
got plenty of time. But I was going to say, just back on what I was just saying there, if they do kill us, look, fuck you guys.
I got another rumor.
Stop trying to kill me. Ted Cruz has a tiny penis.
It is.
Well, it's not just tiny, it's deformed.
It's weird
it's
looking.
Not
Tiny weird penis.
He's like Weinsteining out.
Yeah.
If we do get silenced, it will suck because it'll be a really unfortunate time for all of us to have just started autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, it's going to be
Like,
untimely.
damn, I wish it didn't make me come so hard.
That's right.
No, just joking.
You want more rumors?
We don't do.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren is Native American. How about that?
But she's one of the not cool
But
tribes
she's one of the
that used to
bad
be
ones.
mean all the time to other cool tribes.
She's part of a huge Native American cabal that's working opposite this Jewish
the
cabal.
casino cabal.
She also
Israeli cabal. I'm sorry.
she also uses
not
dude
Jewish.
wipes, but she doesn't like. She's kind of stinky. She kind of smells like shit.
Yeah.
Elizabeth,
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez doesn't even have a pussy.
Oh,
She doesn't have
Whoa,
one.
just flat in front like Barbie doll.
dude.
flat.
That would be.
It's going to ruin it for a lot of guys.
That would be a huge bummer. Does she have
just
a,
flat.
Never mind.
She does have a butthole, but it's huge.
That's fun.
She has a huge butt. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
you couldn't do anything with it.
I mean, you could put like a.
You could get in there.
You could hide treasures.
Yeah. You could like you could get a little bit inside.
Get in there, take a look around. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, those
That's
are the
cool.
rumors I've been hearing online.
Damn.
It's pretty good.
TJ, have you heard any rumors lately?
Pete Buttigieg isn't gay.
So Elizabeth Warren is Native American. Pete Buttigieg isn't gay.
Isn't gay. Fake.
Wow.
But that one actually has been a rumor for a while, that he's a fake homosexual man to garner some sort of like credit.
Dude, that's so crazy. Like to think that like someone's like out like patrollers staking him, and he's like, oh, he's with a woman.
Has there ever been a confirmed case of someone faking homosexuality to their advantage?
That's what I'm curious. It would be the first.
I mean, it has to happen eventually.
It's gotta happen.
I mean, Rachel Dole's all right. She did it in a weird way,
In a different way, yeah.
but not about being gay, about being black.
Right. Right, which does run contrary because you would think
Do you think that's what those
that
guys
would
are,
make it tougher.
those guys are doing who come out as not gay after a long time? That maybe that they were pretending? What happens? How does one become not gay? You ever see this?
No. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Tons of people
There's
on the
like
internet.
actual conversion therapy.
I don't know.
Success
dude. If you're
or
gay,
something?
just be gay. And if you're not gay, don't pretend to be gay. That's crazy.
Yeah, to garner some sort of like
Weird internet
empathy,
fame.
favor
Yeah,
or something.
just be yourself.
But how,
God, I can't believe Pete Buttigieg would do that.
dude? If
I mean, it's just a rumor, but
Pete Buttigieg was actually gay, here's my best evidence. The transportation would be way more organized
oh yeah, you're right. Why is he so disorganized?
because he's
I've
straight.
never,
guy.
He's
yeah,
straight.
dude, I've never met a disorganized gay man.
No,
Nah, they keep order.
Hey, if you're out
in
there,
check.
They're orderly
let me see your
fellas.
closet. I know you're out, but let me see it.
yeah, to be a closeted straight for public appeal is so crazy. But it's also like it's
wait.
not crazy.
Pete Buttigieg, not gay. Lindsey Graham.
Gay as hell.
Gay.
Oh yeah, I like that rumor. That's very funny. I heard.
It's not a rumor. He just has never had a wife. The guy's 74.
Oh,
He's
sure,
never had
yeah,
a wife.
Lindsey Graham is
he
gay,
talks
so.
like this. He talks, hey, y'all,
Dude.
how y'all doing? We got to go. I got my love,
What
President
if
Trump.
that's how crazy?
I just think he can't admit it.
How
out
crazy
loud.
closeted you'd have to be to just be the architect of like so many wars is nuts. And
He's
just be
the-
like, I can't be gay. I'm bombing
Yeah.
villages.
He's the Elton John of the Senate.
Damn. Have you?
What's one we could do about Dick Cheney, dude?
His
His real name's Richard.
No reason to do it. Hey, you want to hear
Whoa.
something bad about Dick Cheney? Go read his Wikipedia page.
Everything. I heard. Actually, here's a fun one. I heard Dick Cheney was nice to a cat once.
Yeah, once.
One time, he was like, "Here's a piece of fish
I
from,
have it on good
from my
author-
pockets."
I have it on good authority that when Dick Cheney gets to hell, the devil's sending him back. He don't want it.
I think he's gone several times, and the devil's like, "No, we don't need that shit
We
in
don't
here,
want
dude."
him, dude. That's still maybe the worst guy
It could be. I don't
in
know if-
American history, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not the worst guy overall. I think
Although-
the Big H probably winds up with him or Stalin gets worst
Well,
guy.
there's also
Yeah.
Kissinger's pretty rough. J. Edgar Hoover's pretty rough. Alan Dulles is a motherfucker. I mean,
Yeah, but we're talking bodies, and I,
I mean-
think
talking bodies.
I think Dick Cheney's got bodies on him. I mean, who got us into Vietnam? There's a lot of deaths in Vietnam. A lot of people,
Was
a lot of things
Edison
going
a
on
pretty
there.
rough cat?
Thomas Edison,
Yeah.
Maybe
the
not.
great inventor.
Well, the greatest patenter in
Yeah.
human history.
Yeah. Wasn't he a pretty shitty fella?
He was just
I
like a
think-
shrewd
Yeah, you're
businessman
misinterpreting
dickhead.
like the
Wasn't
American
he
spirit. That's
Still
what that is.
stealing everything from Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, that's called the American spirit.
That's the American dream.
That's the American dream, baby. Have someone else come up with your idea
That's
and then profit.
Take
on it.
then
credit
profit off
for
of
it. Although Nikola Tesla probably wanted that. He seemed to keep trying to avoid some sort of fame.
Yeah, he seemed.
Yeah, he wanted out of the limelight.
Yeah. He
Unwell.
wanted to do his tinkers. What is that?
the AI overlords letting us know.
Your time as free people is over.
Yeah.
Man.
Also, if you're flaming Theo Vaughn, dude, shut up.
What did Theo
That
do
guy's
this time?
retarded. Leave him alone.
Was it the Free Palestine thing?
No, everybody's just talking about all the comedians now who are backpedaling and doing all this stuff.
Right,
It's like-
except they're not back.
except for they're not. They're just sticking with
They're
what
still anti-war
they said that they were doing
the whole time.
They just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
Dude.
Everything is gay.
What did the Rat King do?
And in particular, he was reading from the new bill because you brought up I brought up AI, but in the new
It's dog
the
shit.
BBB
Big
beautiful
butthole bill.
bill.
Fucking
Got him.
suck it.
There is a clause about unrestricted and unfettered.
Oh, I heard about that.
Can't put regulations
full
on AI,
deregulation on AI for a 10-year period,
which is bullshit.
Which is definitely Peter Thiel and Palantir and JD Vance, and I mean it's a weird thing, I mean I felt it a little bit. I mean I watched JD Vance in that podcast. I'm a grown man. I can admit when I was like, oh yeah, he seems cool, he seems reasonable and rational, and now I don't feel that way.
Right.
Now I feel like, oh man, this guy.
It's so cool that we're
kinda
allowed to
sucks.
change our minds about shit.
Nah, dude.
Because my like a like a steady stone in the ground, I do not move.
Yeah.
I have my opinions.
These
they have
dickheads
not changed.
Play ping pong around me.
Yeah.
Monkey in the middle,
But then
they call me.
when two political candidates come along and one of them is like, yo, we're not going to do war and we're going to cut taxes and we're going to do some things that seem reasonable.
Yeah.
And then you read the bills and you do the things, you go, all right, it's bills, fucking shit never passes. This isn't what happens. You know, you take everything with this reasonable, rational grain of salt, right? It sucks that it didn't work out, I guess.
Yeah, we were hoping like maybe one cool thing would happen.
Yeah. And maybe it
Instead
will.
of
There's
zero.
still 3 more years of this guy being president. But newsflash, everyone who watches our podcast, no matter who the president is, things are going to be bad.
Right.
Until we, the American people, decide to...
Enough's enough.
Yeah, or to just like love your neighbor, man. Like be regular.
It's all about love.
Radical love.
You know, kiss Cole on the tip of his penis, of his uncircumcised penis.
Yeah.
Please.
I heard Peter Thiel is always wearing a butt plug.
Ooh, I heard Peter Thiel lets Pete Buttigieg fuck him, even though Pete Buttigieg isn't gay.
Neither one is gay.
Peter Thiel is
I'm
gay.
not sure what it's about. Is Thiel gay?
Yep.
I mean,
That's
if
right.
anybody has ever seemed asexual, him talking.
Being asexual would be kind of tight, though.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool.
To just
I mean, he's
be-
just gay. He's just a gay guy.
Just have all the power over everything.
I think
Yeah,
he's
dude, just have no
I
no
guess
penis thoughts.
He's
Just
been
like
a bit of a boy fucker, though. I think it would come.
Oh,
I think it might come out that Peter Thiel is
I can't
Nasty boy.
imagine he's not.
that is.
You don't create Palantir because you're a cool, chill guy.
We are doing a. I mean, the last
We're
2
doing a
episodes of this
number.
podcast got like 30 views.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm sitting here going, why don't our podcast? What happened? What's happened? Have we changed our I mean, you know.
I'll tell you, I think I'm reflecting on one of my favorite moments, maybe in broadcast history. There's a
The home
if you
run where the
have-
guy says,
Well, that's great.
wait, before you say that, because I'll just forget.
Yeah.
Chip Carey did that on TV yesterday.
What
On
did he-
accident. Well, it was an accident. It wasn't. He didn't drop a hard F on purpose, but he was like, "Come on out for Pride Flag Month. Come on out and get your pride flag." And he's like, "Everybody, come get a pride."
Whoops.
And he goes, "Flag."
Oh, that's like when that one journalist was talking about the basketball team.
Oh yeah, she said the N word. That was Sarah.
That was such
What's
a.
that lady's name? Michelle Beadle.
Yeah.
That was a crazy
Oh
slip.
my
I was like, I don't
God.
really understand how. I mean,
That's
I get it, but-
nuts.
It's tough. It's tough. Every now and then somebody will say the N word on accident, and it's like,
They're
I don't know.
I can say
I've been alive for 33 years, and I've never accidentally said the N word.
same.
every time I say it, it's on purpose.
It's been intentional every time.
I've never accidentally said anything.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No,
I'm sure I've slipped.
I've said words that I didn't mean. I remember doing stand up and I accidentally said fart instead of
nice.
heart.
Nice.
So-
Pretty
something,
good.
something like that. It was literally the third time I ever did stand up, and I said that, and sweat started dripping down my back into my ass
Knees weak,
immediately.
arms are heavy. This
Instead
vomit
of
on his
what,
sweater
though?
already.
I don't know. I had the video of it. It was
said
when I
fart?
did that. Yeah.
Instead of heart.
Could be.
That's what he just said.
Oh, sorry. I was like, I missed that part.
No, y'all.
I missed that
You
part.
literally filmed it. You have it on your phone right now, Zach.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you filmed it. It was that
I
mutation.
guarantee you I don't have it on my phone. But thank you. I did film.
Thank you. It's funny. Anyway, the best moment in broadcast fucking history. Shut up about farts.
Sorry.
Fight fire with farts, dude.
Well, fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it. Wow.
That's the best
We might
moment in
have to
broadcast
rank all
history.
these, but there is
Oh, dude.
there is a everybody go watch this. It's on YouTube.
The Epstein hot mic.
Incredible. And when I say watch it, it's really just a still image and audio, but it's on YouTube. Louis C.K. is on Opie and Anthony, and Rush Limbaugh has just come out with a book, and somehow Opie and Anthony gets Rush Limbaugh on the phone. And Anthony Cumia is trying his best to ask actual questions, and still, like, you know, he's making some jokes, but he wants to get like a legitimate, serious interview out of Rush Limbaugh for whatever reason. And then at some point, he's like, oh, it seems that comedian Louis C.K. has a question for you, sir. And Louis like, yeah, I actually have a couple of questions. And he hits him with a couple of normal questions. And he's like, what made you want to write this book? Whatever. I think this is in like 2009 or 2011 or something.
Sure.
Pre-scandal.
2009-11. And so he's like, he's kind of, you can tell he's baiting him.
Sure.
And then he goes, and then just really fast, I don't think this, but there's obviously a ton of people on the internet that say that you're actually like a lizard person in human flesh who is feeding on the negative energy of like a suffering world. And just so you can clear that up for the internet. And then Anthony's like, I'm sorry, sir. He's a comedian. He's just joking around, and like he's trying so hard to keep Rush Limbaugh on the phone, and it keeps cycling back. Where he's like, so you're saying you're not like a lizard person in human skin who's feeding on the negative energy of the suffering world? Yeah, dude. It's so good, dude. That rules. And Rush Limbaugh just doesn't say anything. He
doesn't acknowledge.
He'll be like, ha, and you're like,
yeah, because he might have been.
Because he's a fucking lizard person, dude.
It's easy to say, I'm not that.
Right, yeah. Ask me right now.
Are you a lizard person?
No.
Ask me right now.
Zach, are you a lizard person? I go, and he sucks a fly out of the air.
Are you a lizard person? Yeah, exactly. You might be the only non-lizard here.
Ah, shit.
Dude,
There's reptiles only, dog.
Dude, lizard people can only tell the truth. That's why when you ask them, they freeze up.
That's right. That's right. It's like that movie, They Live. Only instead of sunglasses, it's the truth. The truth.
It's just questions. It's curiosity. Pure curiosity. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Should we call this episode the War Room?
I liked what was it? Bots and you said something about bots and something you rhymed with. Ops and bots.
Ops and bots, dude. Yeah.
That's not bad.
I thought, yeah.
Let's get some views. Let's call it the War Room. Let's see if the thought of war brings people to our podcast.
What is it called? It'll be the War Room in parentheses. Rumors of Ted Cruz's deformed penis.
Ted Cruz rumors.
I'm kind of joking, and it feels exploitative to do that, but I'm also curious.
War Room in parentheses Ted Cruz rumors.
Yeah. I like it.
I love that.
I like it. I think
we're allowed. I think we've been fairly accurate and informed.
Powerful.
We even knew
jacked and tan.
You guys have to think about this. You think you go to like Tim Dillon or Dave Smith or any of these comedians that do a little bit of news stuff, Jimmy Dore, they got notes and they got papers and sheets. We're just ripping.
Yeah. Letting it rip.
You know, this is just the Holy Spirit.
From the top of the dome.
Is that from the top, make it drop.
That's right.
It's just the wet ass pussy of the Atlanta podcast.
Get a bucket and a mop.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Let me show you. I got
War
this ring.
Room ass pussy, dude. Come on. War ass pussy.
To love wholeheartedly in a time such as a war.
Get a bucket and a mop for this war ass pussy.
That's great. It might have to be war ass pussy.
But with dollar signs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And ampersands and.
I'll just do it all. I'll do War Room in parentheses. Ted Cruz rumors in parentheses. War ass pussy.
Dude, we love that shit, man.
What is it good for, dude?
God, y'all.
Absolutely nothing.
To love radically in a time such as this is divine. It's the essence of pure divinity.
The essence of
to love radically is punk rock.
To love radically in a time of war and hatred and division is punk rock.
If you see an enemy today in the streets, embrace them.
That's right.
Offer your other cheek.
We never liked Trump.
We never liked Trump, despite what 20 episodes of this podcast would have you believe.
Where we were joking around about loving him, which is.
I think we're
fair, dude. I think we're fair as fuck.
Reasonable.
I think we've been consistent. I was just joking because obviously people are going to be like.
People will come to this and they'll say, this is them backpedaling. And look, like I said, he's been president for, what is it? It's June. He's been president for 6 months. And we don't know. I prefaced the whole fucking thing with this already happened once before, and we didn't go to a massive world war. We were not Iran did not retaliate in this crazy way. Yeah. Everybody kind of got their hairs stood up for a second, and then sort of looked around.
If you want a comfort, World War III would not be profitable in the same way that a forever consistent 20-year skirmish would be.
Yeah.
And we've proven that now. Because we did world wars We did a sequel, and
only-
they were profitable. Iron Man 2.
Yep.
They made a bunch of money
Good
for the War
money.
Machine for sure. But what you don't want is the risk. What do you call it? The assessment. The fucking risk reward assessment.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
I know what you're saying.
Where
It,
it's
it
like-
does. The risks are far.
It makes more
greater
sense
than
if
the
we
reward.
can also send last year's tech to someone else, restock this year's tech, do this whole thing. It's fucking. We're not going to World War III the way that it sounds.
The only way that happens is if China decides that they would like to fight the United States.
on
that
our,
is
on our
the-
turf.
I mean, I don't know. Literally, I mean,
I don't think they're
in the history of those
crazy.
two countries.
I think we're projecting our brand of crazy on them.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
the only
When's the last
way.
time China has gone to war?
That's
fucking-
we were getting there. I
To
think.
beat Japan off.
Yeah, to beat them off pre World War II.
Yeah. Pre World War One, right?
Oh yeah, I guess it
All
would
right.
have been.
Whatever.
I mean, a
all the
lot
way
of-
up until whatever.
Like China's
I need to brush up on my Chinese history.
China as it
It's true.
exists today is relatively new.
Yeah.
I mean, Mao was in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s.
Right.
So, like, communist China as it exists today is like a 20th century, late 19th century
Right.
invention. Prior to that, it was like all emperors, and,
Like dynasty shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
dynasty stuff and stuff like that.
Cool
and
stuff.
they were honestly getting fucked up by the Japanese.
a lot.
Like the Japanese were coming over to China and being like, "Rah!"
It is
killing their babies
Dude, with their
and
Oni
stuff.
mask? Yeah, it's scary as
It's
fuck.
wild as hell too, because China is fucking huge, and Japan for so long was dicking down China. At the same time, they were dicking down Korea and everywhere in Asia. Japan would just show up like the crazy little redhead kid on the playground, beating everybody
Beat the
up.
fuck out of it. They built a wall. I mean, China built a wall.
Right.
You know, not
Well,
to keep the Japanese
that was
out, but
to
to keep
keep
the
out
Mongols out.
Yeah.
But still, like this is the biggest. This is a huge ass place, and they were like, "Well, we'll just build a wall."
Well,
You know,
I mean-
we don't want to fight.
With an insane history of like going to war and
Yeah.
defending off
Yeah.
war.
So I don't know what happened, but my point here is that the only way that this becomes a world war, and
Sure.
when people throw this term around, what they are implying is that an assault on Iran will trigger this alliance between Russia, and then that triggers this alliance between Russia and China, and then that triggers this alliance between China and North Korea. And now you have the North Korea, China, Russia, and Iran, which are the four
Axis
sort of
or
axis
whatever.
of evil as we understand
As-
it in the
yeah.
world, in a war against us.
the good
So,
guys.
but no,
I'm just joking.
also the bad guys. But you know, the guys who we have cooler stuff and sports and stuff
Yeah.
like NASCAR,
Music.
music and stuff. But I just don't. That to me, that's a hard sell.
That's a tough sell.
China doesn't seem like they want Taiwan. You know, that's what they want. They don't want. You know, they don't want some big conflict. I think the same is true of Russia.
And
I don't
even
think that they
that's-
want some big
yeah.
conflict.
Even that seems like nonsense. All of these, like the Taiwan thing, is because Taiwan is one of the most prolific microchip manufacturers in the world. That's why China. It's not some sort of like historical ethnic. Like it's just a right for it's correct that
Semiconductors.
Taiwan is part of China. I don't think they give a fuck about that. I don't think Russia gives that much of a fuck about like
Well, we're
some
one China. We're a one China
Well,
podcast.
of course, but
We're a one China podcast. We believe
Yeah.
in one singular China. China, you do what you feel like you need to do, big dog. Okay, with Taiwan, I know, you know, who am I to judge, you know? I trust you guys. We trust you guys.
mad trust, dude. Radical trust in Chinese
In the Chinese government. Yeah.
I trust everything that's made in China.
Anything anybody who's Chinese says, I trust them.
I think that if there's anything that's scary, if we want to be real and honest, if this results in some sort of broader escalation conflict, there will be terrorism involved. That is what is true.
That does suck.
We will
That's-
enter back into that period of time from like 2001
Yeah.
to 2012,
And that is
where
the
all
fear.
the time you turn on the news and it was like the car blew up or somebody stabbed somebody and screamed, you know, whatever. And then who knows how much of that stuff was actually true, you know?
That is
And like we're just gonna get into this weird post 9/11 war mode again.
Well,
where
Sylvia Brown says that there's going to be another disease in 2030. We got 5 years of safety left.
Which is based on what?
who knows, dude?
These fucking
based on her first prediction of COVID.
I watched a video that said that the United States would be over by 2050, and it was just like, I'm here from the future. It was like a guy who was like, hey, it's me from the future.
That's cool.
I'm just letting you know how things go down. I watched the whole video. I was like, I believe it. That's fine.
It's all
How
true.
is it? Nothing is real anymore. Everything you see on the internet is crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing is real.
We have totally reached
Magic is
this
real.
this crazy. Nothing except for magic.
Magic is real.
Cool magic.
Magic Israel.
Magic Israel.
That's right.
That used to be one of our jokes in the van all the time. Shout out to the guys
Shout out
in
to
the
the
band.
van. Shout them out.
Shout out to the van.
Shout out that van.
Dude, that man fucking.
I remember when you guys bought that van. It looked like it should have been used for old people.
Yeah, dude. It looked like two retired people. We're about to pop out of that nice van. Shout out Nick.
I don't even remember what I was talking about. but-
Everything's real. Nothing's real.
I was saying we've totally just like
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is
China
asshole.
asshole. We've terms and conditioned ourselves into like 1984 on accident, I guess, because like
Yeah.
if you get on your phone, you're in the 1984
TNC. Dude.
thing, dude.
You reckon we're shadow banned on the YouTube?
T's and C's.
You reckon they're putting us down for our hard work?
We'll find out after this episode, my good man.
Can't have 3 or 4 loose cannons going off
Yeah,
every
we'll
week.
find out. We'll find
Getting
out
down
after
to
this
the-
We can't just have a good time for a second.
Can't
we can't
people
just
have fun?
Golly,
I
just-
did insinuate to full-blown suggest that people should dose active members of the government.
But you took it back.
I take it back now because I don't think, in talking it out with you guys, I don't think it's a good idea.
See that's where progression starts.
That's how
It's
progress
introducing
is
an
made.
idea and then discussing it and then realize this is a good idea or this is a bad idea.
Right.
This is how progress is made.
Yeah.
Progress.
So
The problem
just
is-
follow our example. Say something wild. Discuss it. Is it real?
Put it out there. Say
That's
a
right.
hard slur. See if it's received.
Let your friends who are also in trucker hats walk you back off the
Say
ledge.
no. You can't say
No,
that.
easy. Yeah, because I think what is missing from the the dosing of people in positions of power is setting is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be a shaman present, and without a shaman present, we're not going to get anything out of the experience. What would be better is if everybody just willfully agreed that
Right.
perhaps they should do this to better themselves.
In the woods.
Yeah.
By
In the woods,
by
or
a
in the
babbling
desert, or
brook.
somewhere.
Ooh, yeah, the desert could be tight.
Dude, the desert would be so
Whatever's
cool.
closest for those specific people, I go.
Listen, it's hard.
I wasn't specific.
Specific.
Be specific, dude.
Be Pacific.
Hey, it's hard as hell to be a good person. I get it.
Tough.
Nobody wants to do it. It's hard to face your inner
disagree.
demon.
I feel like being a good person requires much less effort.
No. See, here's the problem. Here's where people are lost, man. It's not just you can prevent yourself from doing bad things. That's one thing.
You can be a passive
But the
person.
issue here with a lot of these people in charge, whether they've done bad things or not done bad things, they have not progressed as human beings necessary to be able to make these kind of highly back and the very weighty conversational questions, and when you hear a guy like Ted Cruz get on that podcast, my general thought was like, holy shit, Ted Cruz has been a senator for 16 years. He doesn't know anything.
He doesn't know shit.
He literally doesn't know anything.
He's like bringing up the Bible
Yeah.
and talking about how it's my Christian duty to support the
This
state
is a guy
of
who
Israel.
just doesn't know anything, and he is. I mean, I hate to
Probably
say it.
willfully.
Yep, I hate to say it. I had to turn the volume down. The cringe was too much on our work call this morning. There was a homie, I won't say his name, but he said, "Yeah, I was at church yesterday and I went to an open house and I was just rocking my Hard Rock Jerusalem shirt, pro-Israel, like on the call." And I was just like,
My Hard Rock Cafe Jerusalem.
That is crazy. I don't know. Here's my take.
Dude,
I'm probably wrong, 'cause whatever, but like,
I turned the volume down and I was on the call. I went,
You should have belly laughed in this man's
that's
face.
crazy.
The
I just
only
like,
other contender for name of the ep is Hard Rock Jerusalem.
dude,
The Hard Rock Jerusalem, baby.
Just throwing up a couple.
Hard Rock Cafe.
Sorry,
Jerusalem.
Cole, what were you
Yeah,
gonna
sorry.
say?
Yeah, well, my thing is like if we're like really like gonna bring the Bible in about it, wouldn't you say that Jesus would much prefer unity versus like the destruction
It's
of like
Even the
like the genocide?
I
of,
hate that we're doing this.
Yeah, I
I'll
hate
walk you guys down on it. Genesis 12:3. This is the primary.
This is what Ted Cruz
verse.
is loosely
This
referring
is
to.
the verse that Ted Cruz doesn't know and is trying to quote.
And Tucker's like, you don't even know in the Bible. Where are you talking about?
And that verse in particular is God talking to Abraham. And let's remember, folks, God's not real, like in this way. I mean, I hate to be this guy. This is my personal opinion. Like, at least in this Old Testament way,
Right.
God was not probably literally speaking to Abraham. These are just sort of like the covenant promises of the Yahweh God through the retellings of these stories and things like this. But it's God talking to Abraham, being like, you know, I will bless your sons and the sons of Israel and so forth and so forth. Israel is Jacob, his son. Right. So Abraham's son is Jacob, whose name is Israel.
Right.
And so this is just about this thing. And then you see in Matthew, I can't remember the specific verse in Matthew, but there is a verse where Jesus talks about who are the people of Israel, and it's the people who follow Jesus. These are the people of Israel.
Right.
These are God's people. Right. They have transitioned from a nation state. This is what the Bible is about, folks. We could do this all day. I could do a whole lecture series on what the Bible is about, but like, it's a huge allegory for like corporate, collective worship, which is what the Old Testament is. It's a way for a society to govern itself as a whole, right, and succeed. Right, so you have all these rules that set them apart, and you have all these things that set them apart, and their God is very absent and distant, right? And it's all about collective debt and collective sacrifice and collective sin and the sins of the group and the sins of Israel and all this. And then Jesus comes, and we move from collective to individual. Right, and that's the move here, right? So the transition happens. Israel stops being a people group, and Israel starts being you at an individual level, being able to now take responsibility for yourself.
Yeah, dude. Israel's a mindset, brother.
Get in the Israel mindset.
Yeah, I am.
That's
now
a good episode name too. The Israel mindset.
Magic Israel.
And I know that's maybe a hard pill for some. I mean, I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but I'm saying as far as I can understand what I understand about the Bible, that's what makes the most sense. We were trying as a society, whether the Jews were trying, or I mean, you can see this in Hinduism and Buddhism and all these other religions, trying to move away from collective societal rule and guilt and penance.
Right.
To an individual sort of governing of oneself.
Right. Which the idea being not that you stop giving a fuck about the collective, but the collective becomes a community
of
instead
people who are
of
also doing that.
People who are forced to do things for what people claim to be the greater good.
And this is how you find community with people who don't look like you, right? Because you can identify, this is a person who is also self-governing.
Yeah.
People who self-govern.
An awakened soul.
Exactly. Are people that I can connect with and create a community with.
Right.
And the example of the Pharisees are people who are very collective-minded. They're people who believe in all this.
Rules for the sake of rules.
rules.
And also like the hierarchy among the rules and the rulers of the rules and all the bullshit.
Yeah, Jesus was a radical. Jesus was a revolutionary, but he wasn't a political revolutionary. He was a revolutionary about your own soul.
It's a spiritual revolution.
He was like, just wake up. Stop believing anything.
Yeah.
That's what the whole point of Christianity is. It's like just you be able to govern yourself with the truth.
Yeah.
And then, you have to wrap it up in religion because it's 2,000 years ago and everybody's retarded.
And we've been retarded the whole time.
And it's good. It's physiologically good to do that, to yield to some sort of higher power. So I still do it. I mean, I know I said those things that I just said, but I'm still pro-God, still pro-Christ. I think those are cool
I'm amateur,
ideas.
but I'm going pro, dude.
Yeah, I'm a pro.
Just kidding.
I'm about full-time.
Man,
I think we're done.
Be your own Israel.
Be your own Israel.
War ass
Your
pussy.
own personal Israel. Someone to bomb Iran.
Someone who can.
Someone who can.
We did it. We love you so much.
We love you guys.
If you found this,
like,
you're
subscribe,
looking.
comment.
Yeah,
be our
absolutely.
friends.
Hit us
Come
up
to-
if you would like a sticker. We'll find a way to get you one.
Yeah, we'll make you a shirt.
I love you guys.
We might actually make you a shirt if
We'll
somebody
make a
hits us
Hard
up
Rock
that want a
Jerusalem shirt.
Hard Rock Jerusalem shirt would rule. Hard Rock of Gibraltar.
Bye.
Bye.